My name is Maria Wilson White and I have been set free. Yeah, I was just really trying to find my way and always trying to look for something to make life better and to keep better and to feel better, and yeah, just always looking for something to make me feel better, to improve me and to just take away this unrest and this unsettled feeling that I always had inside me. And on the surface I could be fine and look like I really had it together, and I could work in my role as a teacher and even be like that with families and parents and colleagues and at meetings and all of that, but within me there was something missing, and I got quite good at putting on a disguise as well. I hadn't written off the concept of God entirely, but I guess I just didn't know what I really thought God was anymore, and I lost my way. And during that time I had a lot of things that I was dealing with in my life that were difficult, challenges with addiction, not my own, but living with addiction in a relationship I was in, and just other things. Life was very dysfunctional is probably the word. It was really all over the place. I had an idea that if I went to university and got myself a university degree and had a career that would give me direction, and that would be something that I would be able to identify with, and it would be something I could do for me. So I did that. So when I was 26, I graduated from Christchurch College of Education and became a teacher. I met my husband, Honiana, and he was a great advocate for the Alcoholics Anonymous program that he was a part of, 12-step program. And he had suggested to me that I join the Al-Anon program as a person who's experienced living with addiction. And at this point I'd lived with addiction all my adult life. The Al-Anon meeting was a place where I would go and they would talk about a higher power, and I quite liked that. I would discuss that with people, how I felt it was so important that you didn't get forced to see God in a particular way, and that you could choose what your version of God was, and that suited me quite well. Yeah, so this particular meeting on a Friday I would go to, and what happened was I was walking in and they would have these slogans which were in words of encouragement on the floor, and I would always sit in front of this one slogan that said, "Let go and let God." And bearing in mind I had a very distorted concept of who God was. And while I was looking at the floor, the room lit up around me, and I sensed this presence of Jesus in the room. So I'm looking at the slogan, I feel the room just light up and illuminate with this light, and I look up to see it. And it's drawing my attention, and I look up and the whole room is just bright. I can't even explain it properly because it doesn't look like that. In our regular life, the world around us doesn't look like that. But this day there was something so beautiful and bright and light, and Jesus was in the room. And I'm looking up and he spoke to me. And I don't know if he said it out loud, I don't know if he said it within me, but he said, "I'm still here, you've gone away." And I'm looking around the room and people are still engaged in the meeting, and this woman is still talking, and Jesus is in the room, and it's like nobody else has noticed. And I walked out onto the street, and the colours in the trees were so sharp, and the sky was so sharp, and the lightness in me was so freeing. Something had completely shifted in me, that I now had a burning desire in me to seek Jesus. Now, I'd never said anything about this to anybody for several days. Bear in mind, I wasn't going to church and I wasn't interacting with Christian people. I didn't have anyone around me. I fully had an encounter with Jesus outside of church, between him and I, without any conversation with anybody or anyone telling me about him. So I looked for someone to talk to who would get it. So first place I looked was playgroup. And playgroup was run by Christian people. So I spoke to them first of all, and this lovely woman bought me a Bible because I couldn't find a Bible in my house. I'd had one, but I couldn't find it. She prayed a prayer with me where we brought everything to the foot of the cross. I remember her words about bringing everything I had and had been carrying to the foot of the cross and leaving it there. And I got a vision of that on that day, that's what I was doing, and I was leaving it at the foot of the cross. Yeah, and so I come into Aspire Church like that, and I think people here thought I was a bit wacky as well to start with. Completely on fire, and yeah. So yeah, that's where the real journey of learning about who Jesus is and finding my identity in him. And I could never look back. That was the thing. And at this point, Honiana wasn't a Christian, and I remember saying to him, because it was difficult for him, that I can't turn back from this. Like, this is me from now on. And I just know, and I know how much of a path that I've been walking in darkness before now, that I've been deceived, that I can't go back to that now that I know the truth. So this is it, this is what you get from this point forwards. And we know that eventually the Lord got him too. He had a plan and a purpose in that. Yeah, so this journey for me has been incredible, and all I have now is a desire to see other people set free, because for me that is exactly what has happened, and that relationship with him has set me free. It's totally removed any shame or guilt or any condemnation I had over myself. It's allowed me to forgive others as well, where there were areas where I held on to things and felt hard done by and had resentments. I now see that we're all just people that are broken, and we all have a broken heart, and we all have a God that wants to restore us.